Well, hello there. Welcome back to our playthrough of Enshrouded. Hope you guys are doing well. Now, I'm just hanging out here in front of our beautiful looking fireplace, but we've got a lot of things to do in this episode, and we're sort of coming back to slowing things down and continuing with the build. So that's what's happening in this one. Probably not a lot of exploration or anything like that. I think I've had my fill of that in the last few episodes, and yeah, we're just going to try and see if we can make progress here at Wistful Fields. The first thing that I want to address though is our farm, because our farm is not looking so good, so let's actually do something about that. So first things first, I do need to pull out all of the old plants that are in here, so let's do that, and I do need to be very careful not to I guess dismantle a lot of these like planters. Again, I'm not entirely sure if this is something that we'll eventually be able to make ourselves. It would be nice, but for now I'm really just relying on what's here. If we accidentally pull some out, I guess it's not really going to be the end of the world. We can always sort of just use the soil underneath it. It just won't look as nice, that's all. So anyway, let's continue on here. And yeah, sometimes getting the right angle to make sure that you're not dismantling stuff is a little bit tricky. Luckily, dismantling requires you to sort of hold the E key rather than tap it, so that's always nice, so you won't accidentally dismantle stuff unless you know, press the E key a little bit too long. But anyway, let's take a look at our inventory. So we've got a few bits and pieces here. I am going to need to move our actual planters, or the crafting planters, the ones that make the seeds and stuff, over in this location. And I think I should have enough space in the inventory to actually just, you know, hold on to most of the stuff that's in it while we move stuff. So let's go ahead and do that. And one thing that's a concern is all of this stuff here, which I guess I can move as well. It's not really too much of a big deal, but anyway, one thing at a time. So let's move all of this. And I think I should be able to also fit the rest from this one as well. So I should be able to just bring both of the planters in the one go. Brilliant. Okay, now let's get the planters set. And I was sort of having a think between episodes where I want to keep the planter in, or the planters rather, in Wistful Fields. And I'm sort of thinking this little shed here might not be a bad idea. It's just that, you know, it is again a little bit risky to put stuff in here because we could easily accidentally dismantle the shed. Again, I wish the shed was something that we could just simply make from Cade or someone else. But anyway, there is a wheelbarrow here as well, which, I don't know, I kind of like the wheelbarrow being there, so I don't really want to remove it. And yeah, there's, I don't know, this sack here, which I do need to dismantle. I'm gonna get rid of that. But I should be able to at least fit one of the planters here, though I reckon I'll be able to actually fit both of them in. So yeah, okay. So this is the tricky thing. So if we're wanting to pick up the planter at any point, for example right now, I need to just make sure that I approach it and not, you know, accidentally dismantle the shed. So yeah, anyway, that seems like a decent spot for it. And then I'll actually put the next one right next to it. Great. Alright. And now we can continue to have the wheelbarrow in this position as a bit of decoration. So let's actually stash all of the stuff in it. And we're going to have to obviously decide on what we're going to grow. But yeah, for now, maybe the aureolin flowers can go in here. I don't really have seeds for that, do I? Maybe I can actually get that started. So bone meal and a bit of water. So that should keep going now, or make us some seeds. Let's stash the corn in here. And maybe strawberries. Yeah, maybe the bright colors are all going to be in here, like the tomatoes and the bell peppers. Alright. Then there's like flowers and stuff, which maybe I can bring to the next one. I'll put the mushrooms in here as well. Mushroom seedlings, for example. Yeah, looks good. And now I'll use the other one for everything else. And I think I should split some of the water from here. Okay, I think we're looking good. What's this working on? Sugarcane. I would like to try and make rooibos, but we still don't have the ingredients necessary for that. And actually I would like to experiment on tree seedlings as well, because at some point I would like to replant the trees. Oh, we need fossilized bone dust for this. Yeah, okay. Well, that's actually quite easy because we do have fossilized bone dust just sitting in here. So I'll grab one bag and I'll just chuck that in, and we should get some more seedlings in return. And yeah, I'm hoping that from there we should be able to grow heaps more, and we should be able to, you know, start making rooibos tea on the regular. And I think that's better than the chamomile tea. Apparently we need farm soil for some of these things, so let's stash farm soil in there as well. Plant fibers... yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I guess I could just hang on to them for now. Right, so, farming. Need to decide what goes where. So I need a whole bunch of seedlings. The question is, what do I want to grow? We don't have a lot of bell peppers, so perhaps maybe going with some bell pepper seedlings. We've got... I think we've got like heaps of tomatoes in storage, but only a few of the tomato seedlings remaining. I may as well use them up. Mushrooms, sure. Corn, again, I think we've got a lot of corn, but I don't mind using some corn seedlings. Or perhaps maybe strawberries. Yeah, it's a little bit confusing deciding what to grow. Beets, I think beets would be kind of important. Chamomile, still kind of important as well. And yeah, flax. Alright, let's do that. And yeah, let's get all of these plants in. Oh no. I'm just sort of looking at this, and apparently you can't use these planters. Unless maybe the type of plant is not compatible with it. Let me try something else. Yeah, okay. Alright. I see what's going on. Yes, we can't actually use any of the planters after all. Oh, that is such a shame. I sort of thought that this would be good to use for some farming, but I guess we can't really use it. Alright, that puts a spanner in the works. Just gonna stash stuff once more. And we're gonna have to come back to the farming in a moment. But let's maybe just dismantle all of this stuff. Yeah, what a shame. Right. Gonna head back, and I do want to just check in on the storage container that we have for all of the foods and stuff. And one of the reasons for that is because we do have wheat grains, and I'm not entirely sure if we can make the wheat seeds from the wheat grains, so yeah, let me just grab that. I can move everything now, but considering now there is a bit of a delay on farming, maybe there's no real point in doing that just yet. So let me throw this in there and just having a look. Wheat seedlings. We need wheat grains and fossilized bone dust for that. Alright, do we have any rubos seedlings yet? Not yet. Okay. It's a bit troublesome. I do want my rubos seedlings, but I also want the wheat grains. So we do have to wait a little bit to switch. Grab plant fibers, and I'm thinking maybe at this point we can start thinking about where the wheat field is going to be. And my initial thought was that I'm going to actually keep a wheat field here. I was going to dismantle this particular planter anyway to accommodate for wheat. But, yeah, I just want to be a little bit careful on how we do it. Perhaps maybe I do need to get rid of this tree. And look, we can always regrow trees. Yeah, it's just some of this other stuff that I don't want to dismantle. So yeah, we'll be a little bit careful here. Okay, I didn't need to dig there. I wonder if I can fix that. I think there's a hoe. And the hoe should be sitting somewhere in here. Sorry, a rake, rather. Do we have a better rake at this point? Okay, we only have the scrappy rake, apparently. Unless I'm supposed to make the rake somewhere else. I suppose it'll do the job, though. Yeah, so much for a nice episode of farming. But yeah, I think I can level things like that. It feels like I'm actually dragging the type of terrain into the direction that I want it. So for example, I've just realized the mechanic here. So for example, if I wanted more grass, I could actually pull that and actually bring the grass in. Or if I wanted just dirt, which is the case, I can actually bring it in that way. I wonder if I can change the size of the area that we're affecting. Yeah, we can change the angle. But I don't really know if that's really something that we want. Okay, I suppose the white, or sorry, the brighter circle in the middle is what we want to really work with. What I want to do is just enclose the area with a bit of grass, but then we'll try and get just dirt in the middle. Right about there. Yeah, so I'm sort of trying to get myself a field by doing this. I don't know if I'm really having too much success, but... Okay, we don't want it to be too big either. I wonder if that's too big. Maybe we should make it a tiny bit smaller. Okay. Now I do want to also lower the soil a little bit, because I'm eventually going to be putting more soil on the top of it, if that makes sense. Okay, I'm not really getting the type of soil that I want though, so I'm not entirely sure what's going on there. Can I undo that? Slightly. Alright. So, it seems like I can't flatten at the same elevation that I start though. It seems to just be flattening things to its original state. So, yeah, that's a little bit troublesome. I'm just gonna borrow one of the beds here. Yeah, so there's more grass underneath, and It's not exactly what I want, but anyway. Alright. That's sort of what I'm looking for. Let's hope that we can actually draw out the shape that we want. I suppose it doesn't matter if we get grass because I am going to put farm soil on top of this anyway. Yeah, I'm not certain how to actually remove the grass from appearing. Alright. Slightly better. I'm going to just quickly come this way, and I want to switch to our wheat seedlings. Because essentially, this field is for growing wheat. Or at least that is the plan. Okay. Now that that's done, let me actually try and make some more farm soil. So we need dirt and we need bone meal. Just used an entire bag of bone meal there. That's fine. Because I haven't exactly played around with placing farm soil that much, so I think you can actually use the construction hammer for this as well. And if we switch to the terrain blocks, we can actually put like blocks of soil down, but maybe that might be a little bit slow. Yeah, we can do 2x2 wall blocks. Oh, but, hang on. No, terrain blocks. 2x2 terrain blocks, yep. And I think we should be able to do farm soil here. Okay. Not quite. Let's backtrack a second. And I want to see if perhaps maybe just placing down farm soil on its own would be better. Okay, so this is actually farm soil, is it? I thought it was the stuff that we had in the planters. That brownish colored soil. Yeah, but that's kind of what it looks like, right? Okay guys, it did take me a while to realize that there is the actual terrain options here. I was sort of working on putting down farm soil by the block, and yeah, I thought that was a little bit slow, and I looked around a little bit more and I realized that there is the terrain option, which definitely speeds things up a little bit more, but I'm sort of not really getting the look that I'm after on the sides, so I may need to use some of the terrain blocks anyway. But I might actually need normal dirt for some of this. So we can do stone, and stone will give us this sort of white looking outline, which might not be too bad. But I think dirt is probably what we want. No, that's not right. Yeah, let's see if we can fetch some dirt. I'm not entirely sure if we've got that sitting around somewhere. We might. Otherwise, we might need to go fetch some at our old home. Yeah, we've got quite a bit, so let's give this another try. Okay guys, so I think I've gotten the farm looking decent, though it still looks really sloppy, so I might actually need to do a bit of research on how to, I guess, make fields or farm fields. I'm not entirely sure if there's a way to do that so that it makes things look a little bit tidy, you know? But what I don't really get is why I'm getting some grass pattern in some sections and others are, you know, just normal dirt. So I don't know how to, I guess, prevent the grass from growing in some of these sections. Preferably it'd be, you know, a dirt pattern that sort of surrounds this field. But yeah, let me just quickly fix this little section here. I think we probably need just a little bit more extra dirt. And yeah, that needs to sort of come up here as well. Okay, not bad. Do I want to start growing the wheat? I suppose maybe I could, and then once we harvest, we can always redo the farm again. To the best of our ability, or if we're feeling lazy, we could potentially just leave it as is and live with what we have, though. Since this is going to be our permanent home, I do want to sort of try and make it look nice. Yeah, just trying to tidy things up as much as possible. Yeah. Anyway, farm soil I've decided is quite difficult to work with. But we're going to need to repeat this process quite a few times on this side because this is going to be our big farm over here for veggies and stuff. Instead of having those planters, which was the original idea. Right, let's have a look at how many wheat seeds we might have. 20 wheat seedlings. That might not even be enough for the entire field. Or actually, I take that back. Maybe it will be. That one just disappeared. Why is that? Because maybe it's floating. Yeah, okay. There's some parts of the terrain are uneven here. Yeah, hopefully that fixes it. Let's try that again. Yeah, I feel like we just have enough space there. It's good. Cool. Alright. Not a bad start. But there are some potholes here apparently, so... I'm gonna make sure that we're addressing these. Okay, good. I wonder if muddy soil is something that you could actually play around with as well, because when we're raiding some of those scavenger camps, they do often have like mud and stuff to slow you down. Let's see. Probably want to stash some of this stuff away. And yeah, I'm not going to rush into the rest of the farming, guys. I'll probably just get the wheat for now. And we'll come back to the other veggies later. I'll stash all of this stuff here. Okay, next up, I think we do need to make a start on the second structure that we're going to build. So I probably want all of this. And we're gonna need to start carving things out over this side. Gonna get rid of these. And yeah, I want to start thinking about how big this place is going to be and what we're going to build it out of as well. So some parts of the aesthetic I think I do want to try and match with what we've got going on with that home, but I do want it to still look slightly different as well. So let's go with our floors. Might start with this. Sure, I could go with like a foundation piece, but I don't really know if I want to have a massive foundation piece. These things cost a lot of blocks, and I feel like it's a bit of a waste to go for a foundation block. I'm thinking maybe just these pieces should be fine. For the flooring though, I sort of want to test a few things out. Is that hovering? I think it is. Yeah, so that's sort of the level that we want it in. But let's just compare a few of our options. So the floor, I feel like I want it to be made from stone, especially the ground floor. Fancy stone, that'll give us the wooden pattern on the floor, I think. Yeah, so let's get rid of that. Shroud wood, probably not. City wall is what we have for that home. We could go with the city wall. Fried brick or rough flintstone, regular stone. I think regular stone doesn't look too bad actually. Alright, that's all of our options. Let's just have a look at everything. Actually, I do quite like this one here. This is also not bad. So, rough flintstone block. Or weathered stone block. I guess the real question though is whether or not we're going to use the same type of blocks for the walls as well. So let's get some walls in and see what the walls look like. Regular stone blocks or the weathered stone blocks. I don't know, guys. I feel like the weathered stuff might look a little bit better. We don't want the place looking like super perfect. But then I do like the combination of the rough flintstone floors. Let's see if I can get the walls. Yeah, actually that's pretty cool as well. Very rustic. Kind of confused now. Ah, yes, okay. I forget that the weathered stone walls will actually give us this aesthetic with the bones popping out. Not really something that we want, I don't think. If I get rid of that though and replace it with, say, a different type of wall. Yeah, okay. That could work. Okay. So I'm thinking maybe it's a combination of these two. So for the floors, we'll go with the weathered stone. And then the walls will be the rough flintstone block. Obviously don't have enough rough flintstone block, I don't think. Nor do I have enough of the weathered stone, I don't think. Got more of the weathered stone though. Let's get rid of everything. I think we'll try and match the style of the chimney, I reckon, between that house and the one that we're building. So let's go in with the floors. And yeah, we've got to sort of plan things out here. So I want to keep this little rock here, so that'll stay. And this home is also going to be a little bit bigger, since it is accommodating like another 4 people, essentially. And I don't even have enough to sort of do a good floor plan here, so let me go back and we'll see if we can make some. Right. Weathered stone blocks. Yeah, I think this is what we're looking for, right? Yep. Should be able to make tons. Only need stones for it. Okay. Let's Go back. Now I'm contemplating about whether or not we actually need a basement for this particular structure. The reason why I say that is because, well, it is going to back into this mountain over here. And we're going to have some stairs that actually take us all the way up. And with any luck, depending on whether or not this is too ambitious, but we'll have like a watchtower sitting on the top as well. That's the idea anyway. Just sort of having a think of what sort of spaces I might need as well. Because one thing that I was sort of thinking about is with Oswald, I probably want a lot of his crafting tables and machines to be sitting outside. It makes sense, like for example for a kiln to be outside, and perhaps maybe for a forge to also be sitting outside. So I feel like there needs to be like an outdoor patio area where all of his stuff will be. I think that might be on this side. So yeah, this looks good for the initial space. And then it's just a matter of sort of building upwards and obviously cutting through the mountain side somehow. Now, do we need a basement though? Because the idea that I had with, like, you know, cutting into the side is also to accommodate, I think his name is Aiden, the creepy Hollows guy. And I feel like, you know, he would want to live in a cave of some sort. Alright. Now, we'll swing back to walls. And we'll get these flintstone walls in. Again, this is all just really rough at the moment, guys. We'll probably be fixing a lot of this stuff later. Yeah, I'm gonna need more flintstone. Now, unlike what we did with the first house that we built, I'm thinking of actually making the ground floor a little bit bigger in terms of the height of the wall. So we'll have a taller ceiling, then, you know, a much bigger ground floor space. Whereas with this home, we've got the second story having a little bit of extra ceiling space. Okay, I think that's not a bad look. We'll probably have a door here. Like so. I could still like make a cellar. Probably might not be a bad idea, and because when we get around to fixing up this home, we're definitely going to be digging underground and making rooms. We could have a situation where we connect this home to that one underground. So yes, perhaps maybe we should think about having a basement. Let's think about that. Where would we have the entrance to the basement, though? I'm making these decisions always a little bit tricky. I feel like it needs to be sort of closer to the mountain here. The reason for that is because, yeah, I don't want there to be like stairwells near the entrance. So perhaps maybe somewhere here we can start thinking about making our way down. Let's go back to weathered stone. And this is where we'll start using the foundation blocks and just cutting sections. Good. Nice. And yeah, we should continue downwards. And getting things in the right position can be quite difficult. Okay, we just want to be a little bit careful about not cutting away too much either. Let's not use the weathered stone blocks for the walls. Need to remember that, because we'll start getting those bones popping out. Okay. I think I've got a pretty decent plan here. Again, this build is sort of, you know, unplanned. We're sort of just going to see where this takes us. But I am going to prepare things between episodes, so gathering materials, making the right blocks and stuff like that. And in the meantime, I'm also going to be doing a bit more research on how to do our farming correctly. Speaking of farming, I do have a few more of our wheat seeds, so I can just quickly get that in right now. It isn't looking too bad though. I just want to hopefully find a way to be able to make things look tidier. So hopefully there'll be some tips out there. Otherwise, if you guys are in the know, obviously leaving a comment would help as well. If you want to get in touch and enlighten me of the ways. But otherwise, this is where we're going to call it, guys. Thank you very much for watching and for your patience as I fumbled around with this build. And yeah, if you did enjoy it, dropping that like helps. Stay true. I'll see you guys in the next one.